Shark Tank's Barbara Corcoran has people talking after her controversial comments about getting ahead in business as a woman. It sparked a lot of backlash, and she's joining us in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what she said or tweeted that's getting so much reaction.
I'll make you an offer.
Barbara Corcoran is best known as a shark we love to watch on Shark Tank, doling out advice about how to turn ideas into cash, as she did with her real estate empire.
I have total confidence in you.
But now the female titan is getting some heat for a tweet. I find running a business in a man's world to be a huge advantage. I wear bright colors, yank up my skirt, and get attention, Corcoran tweeted on Tuesday. The comments getting women talking. Like 30-year-old Eileen Carey, co-founder and CEO of a diversity and inclusion enterprise software company, arguing Corcoran is sending women the wrong message.
As a millennial, we expect to be judged by our intelligence, by our hustle, by our creativity, not by what we're wearing.
And joining us now from Beverly Hills, Shark Tank expert and the founder of the Corcoran Group, Barbara Corcoran. Barbara, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And Barbara, you and I have known each other for nearly a decade now, and one thing I know about you, you do not mince words. But do you regret any part of that
That's sometimes
tweet?
a problem, as you could tell.
Do you regret
Do
your comments?
No. Well, I totally believe what I said, and I'm frankly a little bit surprised by getting any reaction to it. I think it's so obvious that if you're a woman or a man, it has something to do with what sex you are, you really have to play up whatever you've got. I happen to have great legs. I didn't have the best face always or the best body, but I had great legs. So if I want to get attention, and I still do it, I make sure I wear my skirts really high. I yank up my skirt at the midriff, and I walk into a room and everybody notices me because I've got great legs. I think it's a great gimmick, actually, if you are smart enough to get attention. And I don't think that's sexual in any way, but that's what makes a horse race, right?
I think a lot of people are upset about that yanking up your skirt because it seems to imply that you're using your sexuality to get ahead in business. You say you don't apologize for that and that flirting is a technique for you sometimes.
It certainly is, and think about it, Amy. What do men do? They smoke cigars together, they get flashy by pulling in a Ferrari, they're wearing the Rolodex watch, they're playing golf with their bosses. They've got all the gimmicks going that make them belong and be a little different and a little bit part of the boys' club. Women don't do those things. I mean, if you're attractive, it's one thing to build up your numbers in business and get a tremendous balance sheet, and in the end, you're judged by that in business. It has nothing to do with male or female. You're judged by your numbers. But to get to those numbers, you've got to stand apart from the pack. You will never succeed being exactly like the next guy or gal because nobody will notice you. And you'll never get to that juicy balance sheet that every woman out there building a business is hoping to get to.
Barbara, this is not a new message for you. You've written books. This one, I love this title. If you don't have big breasts, put ribbons on your pigtails, and other lessons I learned from my mom. But why wouldn't you tell women to use their brains instead of their breasts?
Let me tell you something. If you're not using your brains, you're not going to succeed in business. It is not an easy game to build a business. You have to be thinking all the time and using every bit of common sense and great intelligence to build your business. That's a given. But assuming you have 5 people with equal intelligence working equally hard, the person who knows to grab attention is going to be the one that gets noticed and gets put ahead. Look at our phenomenal Donald Trump. I mean, could you even imagine him if he was saying these sound bites that he's throwing out there as if he were a woman? He'd be thrown out of the country. He's using the male macho gene all the way. But no criticism on that. No.
But using female sexuality, you think, is comparable to cigars and male prowess? And talking about a woman's physical appearance and body parts with so many women trying to get away from that and say, my looks don't define me. What do you tell your young daughter, as a lot of us moms with daughters are trying to tell our daughters the exact opposite message?
I'm sorry, I wish I would agree with you, Amy. You know how I love you so much. It's just I've lived in the business world my whole life. And I can tell you that if you can grab attention and be different from the pack, and it doesn't have to be in any sexual way. I mean, men will go out and buy a $5,000 Tom Ford suit to impress their friends, okay? They know they're looking good. They know they're strutting their stuff. And I think it's a wrong message to tell young women that they should look like the guys. I just don't think it works in business. If you're beautiful, let yourself be beautiful. I just feel like you should use whatever you've got to your own advantage. I see I see it as the only way to get ahead in business.
All right, Barbara. Still not mincing
Wish I
your
could
words.
agree with you.
Barbara
Wish
Corcoran.
I could agree with you. Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Michael, over to you.
All right, thank you, Amy. Very interesting conversation.
She's not backing down for what she said.
Not at all.
Wow.